What are your thoughts when I say taxation without representation?
I think we should dump some tea bags in Boston Harbor.
Yeah, okay, that's an action. That's an
That's an
action
action.
item.
That's the first thought that
Yeah.
comes into my
Okay.
mind when you say that.
So what about politically and
Taxation without representation doesn't seem like that's an American concept to me.
yeah.
It seems like people that are getting taxed should be represented, and so they have their say in whether that tax is fair or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember from my 8th grade constitutional class that we took, all of us in the 8th grade in California took, was a course on the U.S. Constitution. And I remember from that there's some special constitutional provisions that pertain to the residents of the District of Columbia. One was that they could not vote for president as the Constitution was originally written. And second is they have no representatives in the House of Representatives or in the U.S. Senate to represent their district.
Right. And so you remember that. That was a long time ago for you as an 8th grader. I think you've got a daughter who's already gone way beyond the 8th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So here we are this many years later, and has anything changed in your perspective?
Between what I remember as an 8th grader and where I am now, I would say yes. Things have changed.
Yeah.
There's been a few constitutional amendments since then. I remember one that was tried for equal rights for women, the ERA, that came very close to being approved. I think it failed by one state legislature, perhaps 2 state legislatures didn't ratify it, and so it didn't become part of our Constitution. It was like 2 sentences long that gives women equal rights in this country. I look back on that and why did that not work? I remember the 18-year-old vote passed as a constitutional amendment since I was in the 8th grade. I remembered that the citizens of District of Columbia were now allowed to vote for president after an amendment passed in 1964, I think it was. There's been a whole lot of constitutional issues that have been addressed and resolved by the U.S. Supreme Court, many that affect people every day. But it seems like the question of awareness by our people in our country that the citizens of D.C. don't have a representative in Congress to take care of their issues doesn't seem like it's fair to me. I was surprised to hear that.
What do you think it might take to change that?
I was thinking about that. I don't know. It might take, I guess the worst it could be is a constitutional amendment, which is a long process that you have to go through. First, it has to be approved by both the House and the Senate, and I believe signed by the President, and then it has to be approved, and I forgot if it's 50% of the state legislatures.
I think 38 states are required.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually, in my research for
so
this
that'd
project,
be like 2/3 of the states.
We came very close to getting the 38 states, but the period for which the period during which that had to be accomplished, just like the ERA, closed without the requisite 38 states. And that was 1985. We came that close.
I wonder how people in the United States, in other cities, in other states, think about having Congress have such direct control over their municipal government without having any say in without any representatives to represent their district, to have any say in what the outcome of how Congress makes laws for them. It's like you don't have a city council that has influence over what the Congress can do.